Welcome back, guys. So today we have to talk about Pac-Man and its very odd story. Like most games from the early 80s, story was kind of something for you to decide on your own. You're given the basics or the premise behind why you were doing what you were doing, but that was pretty much it. But with Pac-Man, that game gave us a little more to work with due to its intermissions or cutscenes. So I'm no Billy Mitchell when it comes to Pac-Man, but I've definitely enjoyed the various Pac-Man games throughout the years. Pac-Man's been expanded on with cartoons, more games, other forms of media that you could say flesh the character out a bit more. But what I'm going off of was what was originally portrayed to us in the older games. This is what's canon to me. So it starts in the original Pac-Man. There's some very weird things we can notice in the intermissions. But I go further to what is going on in the game Pac-Land for what the truth is, and it's a morbid truth for sure. Is Pac-Man the good guy, or is he the villain? Well, really that's for the individual to decide. That's not what I want to talk about today. But what I want to present to you is a story of war, genetic mutations, and murder. So the game Pac-Land was a divergence from the standard Pac-Man game and its sequels. It featured an actual world with side-scrolling gameplay. The arcade and the home ports used a funky button configuration that had you using buttons for left, right, and jump. On home conversions, you would use the D-pad to jump. It's kind of strange and a little weird to get used to. Usually you could change this to a more standard control scheme, in the options typically. My first exposure to Pac-Land was not in the arcade, which that version came out in 1984, but on the TurboGrafx 6 years later. I always found this to be an odd game, and always just thought it was based off of the 80s cartoon, which the game being localized to the US did, change itself and model itself after it to be a tie-in. But there's so many odd things going on in this game, seriously. So we're led to believe that the monsters have taken over Pac-Land and we have to save these fairies. That may seem fairly standard, but then why are the monsters or ghosts inhabiting the towns and buildings in Pac-Land? Why are they driving vehicles, living in houses, flying planes? Something just seems a bit off. But then I did do a little digging going back to the original Pac-Man. And it turns out the ghosts, or monsters, typically people are calling them ghosts, they're in fact not ghosts at all. I'm not making this stuff up. We have to look to the leader of the ghosts, Blinky, the red one. He has a couple very interesting cutscenes in the original Pac-Man that shows us they are in fact some kind of humanoid creature with legs, not ghosts. They're living creatures. Maybe some kind of strange, weird-looking creatures, but they are creatures. In one scene in the original Pac-Man, Blinky is chasing Pac-Man, and his red covering gets caught on a nail and rips. So then in the next scene, it shows that Blinky patched up his disguise and chases Pac-Man, only to come crawling out looking like some kind of mutated person or human or some kind of creature. But he has the big eyes and he's crawling out, It's strange, very strange. So I believe, there's some not so kid-friendly things going on here. It appears in Pac-Land there's actually a war going on, hence the frequent attacks from the planes. Looking through the game, I've noticed a couple unsettling things. One, the ghosts, or monsters as they're also called, actually throw their children from the planes, and sometimes even from building windows. Why are they using their babies as ammo? Or are they even using them as ammo? Are they possibly asking Pac-Man to save their kids? Or are these monsters a byproduct of some weird genetic mutation and they don't want these kids growing up in this sick, sad world? Definitely sounds odd for sure. But if they're actually creatures with legs and not just ghosts as we saw in the original Pac-Man, why are they killing their kids? Is the fairy princess the actual villain? And Pac-Man's aiding her and these ghosts just want peace? This is a tough one to decipher, guys, but then I did notice something. The vehicles the ghosts drive. What's that symbol on the tires? I'm not sure. I'll let you to decide. But I, for one, will never look at Pac-Man or the world of Pac-Man the same again. There's some strange things going on in this universe, and hopefully someone will get to the bottom of this. Very unsettling, strange things. The game, I don't know if it's some kind of, political commentary or historical commentary or, what's really going on here. Share your comments down below. I want to hear what your thoughts are concerning this. I may have some more information in the near future concerning Pac-Man and the strange world of Pac-Land and the ghosts. So stay tuned for that. Smash that like button, subscribe, do all that cool stuff. Hey, I did record this video, or at least the Pac-Land version, or parts of this video, using a TurboGrafx, but the way I recorded that was using the RetroTink 2X and the Sega Genesis HD Retrovision cables. You can get notified on CastlemaniaGames.com for when these are going to be back in stock. They are hot ticket items, a lot of people looking for them, so I just wanted to give you guys a heads up. Link will be in the description. You can jump on that waiting list and get notified when the pre-orders or sales go up, so bam, do it. Take a look. So do appreciate you guys stopping in. I will catch y'all next time. Peace out, bye-bye, and boom!